Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys a really cool tool that can help you teach from home. So this is Microsoft Whiteboard. All you have to do is if you go to your internet browser and you type in Microsoft Whiteboard, you should be brought up to Microsoft.com and you'll get this page. So the Microsoft Whiteboard is a free app that's great. It works on your computer. And if you click Get, if you're running Windows 10, it'll open up the Microsoft Store. So you can either search it this way or you can go straight to your Microsoft Store in your computer if you know how to access that, and then search for the Microsoft Whiteboard. And then you just have to download it. And then once you've downloaded it, it will say this product is installed, and you just click Launch. And it will open up your whiteboard. So essentially this is just a simple whiteboard. We have our home button here, which allows you to create multiple whiteboards. You can click on the current whiteboard you're on. You have this add or share, invite somebody. So you can actually share this whiteboard with somebody, like another teacher, and you guys can create on it together. And then this is your icon, and then here's some different setting menus. So usually when you first open it up, I believe only object snapping is on. I really like to have the ink to shape, and I'll show you what that does here in a second. You can also format your background, so you can change the color, you can have dots, you can have squares, you can even have a graph, and you can kind of zoom into these graphs. If you want to plot something for math, you can have like a hybrid, diamond, triangles, wide rule paper. Sorry about the dogs barking, working from home. So you have wide rule paper, you even have a very narrow rule paper. And then like I said, you can change the background colors if you want. I find that for most things, white with a solid background is pretty nice. You can also change your toolbar location if you want at the bottom, right or left side. And then you can clear your canvas to get rid of everything else. So I will show you what it looks like without the ink to shape and what it looks like with the ink to shape. So once we go back to our whiteboard, there's some tools down here at the bottom. We have our inking mode, text mode, add a note, add an image, and then insert a menu, and then undo and redo. If you click on the insert a menu, you have a different list of things here. You can add a note to grid, list, templates, PDF, Word document, PowerPoint document. So you can bring any of these things into here, which is pretty neat, and I'll show you what some of these look like. So if we go to our ink mode, we have several pins pre-selected, so you can actually set these up if you want. Let's say a black pen that's wide, you can even have it like set to skinny. So if you can have it wide, you can change the color, but you can customize your tools down here to whichever ones you want. They have some pre-selected ones where it's black, red, blue, and green, and then they have like this rainbow pen and a galaxy sparkle pen. And then they also have a highlighter, which you can change the thickness of your highlighting, the color, everything there. They have an eraser tool to clear your canvas, a ruler, and a lasso. So let's say I select my black pen. You just click and drag. So this is the largest setting. And you can see that that feels a little awkward. So I'm going to click on here. If you just click, clear canvas. And maybe I want a little bit thinner one. It's kind of nicer. So you can actually draw out things. Now obviously I'm doing this with a mouse right now, and it's not the greatest, but you can pretty much get your point across. If you have some kind of pen tablet, that's going to work way better. But if you don't, you can still do this with a mouse. If, let's say, however, you're doing something simple, you don't have to write it out with the pen. You can come here to text and you can type, and you can have these text boxes, and you can actually move these things around. You can click and drag, make things a little bit neater. When you click on one, you can change the color of it, the text. You can like it, you can alter the text, you can actually draw. I continue to write on it. You can delete it or you could copy it. So it still allows you to edit these. Like this one you can cut, you can alternative text, or you can actually write on it, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot of different things you can do simply by selecting them. You can make the box larger if you want, smaller. So you can edit just the text that way. There's also some pretty cool sticky notes. Now if you remember, I'm kind of zoomed in, but you can actually shrink your sticky notes. You can alter them, move them around. You can change the color. You can type on them. So going to be on the test. You know, we could sticky that right here. We can make it really important, make it stand out a little bit more. You can add images, so you can actually go to library images, cameras, you can search images, which is pretty nice. Now this area, a note grid, so you can actually bring up pretty much a notepad here that you can type in, and you can kind of sort it. You can also bring up a list, like your to-do list. You can also bring up different templates. So let's say there's like a brainstorming template, and here's like your agenda, your title, your ideas. So you can actually start with like some basic templates if you want. I'm going to delete that. So there's a bunch of different templates here, which is kind of nice. KWL charts, a weekly planner. You can also bring in PDF, Word documents, and PowerPoints, which would probably be helpful if you want to highlight them. I am going to show you the ruler tool. If you click on the ruler, it kind of puts this ruler on there, and then you can take your pen and you just draw straight along it. Now, if you are not selected on the ruler, if you're selected on the whiteboard and you zoom, you use your mouse scroll, the center wheel on your mouse. You can scroll in and out to zoom in and out. But to rotate the mouse, you have to be hovered on the, or to rotate the ruler, you have to be hovered on the ruler and then use your mouse wheel to actually rotate it. If you have a touch screen, I believe you can do this with 2 fingers. You can actually just grab the ruler and kind of rotate it with 2 fingers. But if you don't, you can use your mouse to rotate it. And it gives you exact degrees, so you can draw triangles, things like that. Now, if I go back to drawing, turn off my ruler. If I draw like a circle or a square or a triangle, they turn out as well as I can make them with my mouse. But if I go back up here to my settings and I go to ink to shape, now what this does is it guesses what you're going to draw and it kind of cleans it up a little bit. It's not perfect. It just kind of guesses as best as it can what you're trying to draw. Oh, did not do anything for that one. So you can do parallelograms, diamonds, all kinds of things. So this is kind of nice when you're working with shapes. Makes it a little bit cleaner and neater. I did notice it doesn't straighten out lines, and if you were to do, like, let's say a cross or a plus sign to do like a graph, it's not going to do anything for that. The lasso tool here allows you to select multiple things and delete them all at once, or you can delete using this button. The lasso tool also allows you to select multiple things, to move them and copy them if you want. So this tool can actually be really useful if you are trying to teach a lesson. You can even bring in your PowerPoints, things like that, and kind of add notes to them and kind of illustrate, as if you were teaching in front of your classroom as much as you can. I would use this tool with the screencasting tool, kind of exactly what I'm doing for you right now. So I would open up my whiteboard and I would open up my screencasting software like Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm using, and then I would create my lecture using these different tools in here to help with that. You can do any kind of thing in here, like this is great for math. It's also great for teaching colors and shapes, letters for the younger grades and things like that. So this is a pretty useful tool if you want to record some lectures and some educational things for your students to help keep them up to date. And it can be just kind of entertaining and fun, and great way to learn a new tool that you can technically use in your classroom when we get back to them. So thank you.